parents and furry friends. Welcome back to Furry Friends and Fun, Pillows Talk, where we cozy up and chat about all things pet-related. Tonight, we're talking about something that every dog owner faces at some point: grooming your dog at home for the first time. I'm your host, Emma, and joining me are our regulars, Ava and Oliver. Have you guys taken the plunge into at-home grooming?
Hey, Emma. Hi, everyone. Oh, I sure have. Grooming Daisy at home was, let's just say, an experience. I thought it would be easy, but Daisy had other plans. What about you, Oliver?
Good evening, all. Oh yes, I've given it a go. And let's just say that my first time grooming Rufus turned my bathroom into a veritable splash zone. If I hadn't known better, I'd have thought I was hosting a water polo match in there. But we got through it.
I love it! It's such a relatable topic because grooming at home can feel like an epic adventure or disaster. Ruby was not a fan at first either. So let's dive into our stories, tips, and lessons learned from our first grooming experiences.
Oh gosh, where do I begin? The first time I tried to give Daisy a bath at home, I was so unprepared. I thought, how hard can it be? But Daisy was absolutely terrified of the water. She slipped out of the tub and ran around the house soaking wet. I finally got her back in with some treats, but it was clear I needed to approach it differently. Now, I always give her a gentle introduction to the water, starting with just her paws and make sure the water is lukewarm. That seems to help a lot.
Daisy sounds like quite the escape artist, Ava. Rufus, on the other hand, acted as if the water was his sworn enemy. He barked at the showerhead like it had personally insulted him. I ended up having to use a handheld sprayer, which made it easier to control the flow and keep him calmer. And of course, plenty of treats were involved. In fact, I think he ended up getting more treats than I planned just to keep the peace.
Oh yes, Ruby was all about bribery with treats too. I found that making the experience as positive as possible was key. My first tip is to go slow. I didn't try to do everything at once. I started with brushing her, then gradually moved to trimming her nails, and then the bath came last. By doing a little bit each day, she got used to the process. And now it's not as stressful for either of us.
That's such good advice, Emma. I think a lot of people, including myself, try to rush through grooming because they're nervous about how their dog will react. But taking it slow and introducing things gradually made a big difference for Daisy. Now, she's okay with baths as long as I give her plenty of reassurance.
I couldn't agree more. I also realized that the tools you use make a huge difference. The first time I groomed Rufus, I used a pair of clippers that were way too loud, and he went berserk. I quickly learned that quieter tools, like a more gentle pair of clippers or even grooming scissors, were much better for him. He still gives me that, "What are you doing?" look, but at least we get through it with less drama.
Emma, fun and joyful. Oh, what are you doing to me? Look, Ruby gives me that every time I bring out the nail clippers. I actually started using a nail grinder instead because it's quieter and less likely to accidentally cut too deep. And now she just sits there like she's at a doggy spa. Well, almost.
I love that. And for anyone listening who's nervous about grooming their dog at home, don't worry. It's totally normal to have some mishaps at first. But with a little patience, the right tools, and some tasty treats, it gets easier.
Indeed. And remember, every dog is different. What works for one might not work for another, so don't be discouraged if your first try doesn't go as planned. Rufus and I are proof that practice makes perfect, or at least less chaotic.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you and your dog. And hey, even if it doesn't go perfectly the first time, it's all part of the journey. Plus, it can make for some pretty funny stories. So, to our listeners, if you've had any memorable at-home grooming experiences, we'd love to hear them. Share your stories with us on social media.
Definitely. We're all in this together, and sometimes sharing those not-so-perfect moments makes it easier.
Yes, let's hear those tales of bath time escapes and grooming fails. Who knows, we might just learn a thing or two from each other's adventures.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Furry Friends and Fun, Pillows Talk. Thank you, Ava and Oliver, for sharing your grooming experiences and tips. And to our listeners, remember, grooming at home can be a fun and rewarding experience for both you and your pup. Just take it one step at a time. Don't forget to check out our blog at A Glamorous Paw Life for more tips, stories, and everything you need to give your pet the glamorous life they deserve. Until next time, because every pet deserves a glamorous life. See you soon, friends.